How's it going? Yeah, let me go double check. Cool. Yeah, sorry about last week. We actually tried to stream last week and we were getting a crash bug because of stuff we had introduced with the um, all the asset packs and everything. Ooh, boy, that was a lot of beeps. Okay, well, they're still getting me, so cool. Yeah, alright, so our focus today is going to be on doing more of this type thing, this kind of propping that we're doing. We will need more light in there, but I'm not too worried about it. It's actually really funny. We were getting these like really horrifying crashes, and it turns out it was pretty much we had so Perforce is our source control, and Perforce is really cool because it's kind of like backups, right? Incremental backups, um, and our Perforce, was set up by us, and we are not normally the people at a company that sets up Perforce, right? So there's a thing called a ignore file, and what that file does is it says don't update these folders or don't check them out, don't lock them, right? Like that kind of thing. And we had that set up, but Perforce was apparently not actually using it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, like things weren't updating properly, some things that shouldn't have been updating were. It was a mess. Anyway, and my husband pretty much spent all last Saturday working on it, trying to get it to work. It was kind of a nightmare. I am also on a new internet, so theoretically it should be a little less laggy, a little less goofy. I am still worried about my headphones, though. I need to get my mic and everything set back up. Yeah. So, oh right, this stupid texture. ArchViz materials in my desk. So I want to go to Z asset packs. Arch is that big company ArchViz materials. And this is MI desk L. Let me go to file history. Get that revision. Okay, now it is probably not going to change. Oh, it's getting it now. So this is part of what we talk about Perforce being the backup, right? So at some point we were messing around with textures and this one got messed up, right? That's not the actual texture that's supposed to be on there. So what I can do is I can literally go back into Perforce and I can sync back to the original version. Although I do think it is going to be very angry if I try and do it. Yeah. If I try and do it with Unreal open, I just realized. So I'm gonna close Unreal. Yeah. Oh gosh, it should not be taking you this long to save that. I think it's because I'm trying to do two things in the same folder set at the same time. Perforce really quick. And I want to say get this revision. Alright. Okay. Then I need to go here. Okay. Okay. Alright. Spooky Ghost Game. Neat. Yeah, so see how I click on the screen and I move it around? That's you right click and hold. Right click and hold and you can move the viewport around. When I was trying to do that last Saturday, it would just immediately crash. It was kind of crazy. Alright. Loading. So I now have, if you remember before, I had the content drawer kind of along the bottom of the screen, and I now have it actually moved over onto the side where my OBS is. So, because with doing all of the propping, you really want to have like your whole full list of stuff. See? Now it looks fine. Alright, let me find that. There it is. Save. Make writable. Save. I wonder if there is like some ridiculous little thing in here I can change. Okay. Okay. It keeps freaking out on me, being like, you need to get the latest version. And I'm like, no, I don't. The latest version is the wrong one. Alright, cool. Okay, so, alright, so I'm gonna start kind of, let's see, we got this area pretty okay. some things. Let's go ahead and move into this office. Okay, so this guy had a bunch of these file cabinets too. We had so many of these file cabinets. Actually, let me just grab these over here. Beep. It was actually really funny. He had a couple on this side and then a couple more on the other side. The guy who was in this office. When you work at a school, there's a lot of kind of weird parts because you have teachers and stuff, right? Like, and they're really important. It wouldn't be a school without teachers, right? But then you also have a lot of administrative people, and they tend to be a lot more I don't know. Oh, that's real odd. Those are all jank. Look at that. Okay. The admin people tend to be a little more like focused, like businessy, right? Whereas, teachers can be a bunch of different kind of like personalities and types and stuff. So you'll have some like very, pragmatic teachers or whatever, but then you also have some of those really like I don't say this in a mean way, but like really hippie teachers. I had a couple of those. They were fun. Yeah, this whole room looks kind of like a mess. Everything's kind of overlapping. So let's paste on our new material. And then let's go ahead and grab these gents. Oh my gosh, a 10. Who's doing a 10? Okay, alright. The grid set to 10.
Oh. That's probably me.
Yeah. It is a lot more precise than most level designers would use. Okay. Boop. Oh, none of the rest of these are overlapping.
That is also one of those settings where I don't think I've ever felt like it's been right. It's always a little too fast or a little too slow for me, and I'm always going back and forth between things.
My scales on the grid snapping adjust based on how precise I'm getting with the build, right? So you start at 10s and eventually move to 5s, and then eventually, like, you get to the point where there's some stuff you gotta do at 1s. Because game development. But you don't go down. I see. Just kind of running into it in those corners. Okay, well, I can do this. What are you at? 25 is going to be way too big. Let's see. What is our... Okay, it's probably 1.4. No. Wait a minute. Oh, it's only overlapping in that tiny little corner. Wait, are you still the... You are still the thing. Let's see. What happens if we make you 2.6? I did want to say, super cool thing that happened. One of the people who's occasionally here at the stream and like talking and learning and all that kind of stuff, they got picked for the Unreal Fellowship thing where they get to go and like take like very intense, very cool classes learning Unreal. And I'm really excited for him. I can't wait to see what crazy stuff he learns. It's gonna be so cool. Yeah. That's the kind of thing, like, I'd love to do it, but gosh, I don't have anywhere near the time that it would require, because you've really got to commit to it. You can't just phone it in, and yeah, yeah, it's really cool. I'm really excited for him. I can't wait to see what he gets to do. I also hope I can convince him to come on the stream and teach us all like super sneaky little tricks he learns. That would be fun.
We also have our other person who was formerly only an audience member of the stream who is now
That is true.
developing his UI chops.
Yeah. So I mean, if you follow me on Blue Sky or Twitter, my my friendship with Matt Fossen and the many years it has spanned. He's a really cool guy. He's an artist, and he's an entomologist for the state of California. That's really cool. But he's an artist, and he started teaching himself art and everything a couple of years ago. And quite a while ago now. But he got really good, and he's pretty neat and everything. And so we've been talking to him about helping us, right? Because even with my brother helping us and everything, art is just always the thing you need so much more of on a game than like anything else. And so we've had him helping us do some art things. Well, we actually went over and installed Unreal. We were like, here, let's see if we can teach you to do UI. And then of course here he comes checking in really cool UI and stuff. So that's really neat. That is definitely one of those things that people get into games and it's not always the most obvious path into games, I feel like the scale on this chair is a little too big, but it might be okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see for that desk, that chair is too big. But I think I want to take the desk and I want to go up to probably 1.3. Oh no, that's gonna be too big. Yep, that's gonna be too big. Okay, so really what you're doing anytime you're scaling furniture stuff, right? You're trying to kind of make all of the furniture match each other. Obviously, it's not going to match each other perfectly or anything, but if you think about this chair theoretically has to fit under this desk, right? And right now now it does. Okay, so if you look at it, but it's still too tall. So let's bring it back down. Gosh. Oh, that's barely there. Okay, so you bring it back down. Now it looks more of the correct height, but it's kind of the correct width. It's maybe a little too narrow because you see it's clipping into the desk there. So in that case, let's see if we can go up. Oh gosh, maybe 3.5. Haha. See, now we're not obviously clipping. We are clipping if you get really near and close to it. But the reason I'm just eyeballing this, right? The reason I'm not being super precise or whatever. First off, we may end up replacing this art later. Don't spend time on stuff you're going to replace it later. But people's brains, not just players, people's brains will fill in missing items. For example, if we go in this room and we're looking around this room, there's no garbage cans, there's no light switches on the walls, there's no sockets on the floors, there's no baseboards, there's no crown molding, right? There's all these things that are missing. But you don't really notice that because your brain doesn't really care about all those little details unless you're the kind of person who cares about all those little details like me. But so your brain just kind of, oh, it's a house, it's going to have those things, so it just kind of fills them in. I worked on a VR title for about 6 months, and it was really cool because we were building several locations, but one of them was the interior of a car. And there was no rearview mirror. We had dozens of people test the level that I had built, and every time at the end of the test, I would sit there and we'd ask them questions, we'd ask them all these, kind of things, and then to get to the very end, and I'd finally just be like, "Did you notice that there was no rearview mirror in the car?" There were a not insignificant number of people who would tell me about the rearview mirror in the car and what it looked like. And there's not one. There was never one. And it was really interesting to me that people were like, their brains would just fill that in. There was no problem to that. Okay, so this is close enough. It's not perfect. It's not great. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so then he had. All right, I want to actually move all of this to the center of the room. So let's just go to top. Woo. There we go. Top. And I'm gonna slide it to right here. Cool. Actually, now it's cheating a little bit more towards the. There we go. That should be right, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet. So we've got this in the center of the room. Got our neat little thing. Okay, where are plants? I want to mark this as a favorite. Is it going to go in my collections? Haha, fantastic. So just to show y'all what I did. So we have these collections down here, and I right-clicked on the item, and I said Manage Collections, and I clicked here, which then added it to my collection. So really quick here before I move on. I want to add these. I definitely want to add one of these. Oh man, those things. My grandmother had these stupid chairs. Okay, I want to mark one of these. Burp. Okay, oh, nope. No, keep it. Oh gosh, the lag is gonna kill me. I always love those shirts that say something doesn't make gamers angry. Lag does. Wow, that is a very expensive chair. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. We had a ton of these, like, super old, super fancy chairs. But it's funny because I say they're fancy chairs. We didn't have the good ones. They just were fancy chairs. That actually kind of looks like the kitchen chairs they would have. Got all those motel pool chairs. Let's go ahead and mark you. Okay, so he had two kind of like armchairs, more like these. They weren't really. They were a lot simpler than most of the furniture we had in these offices. So the guy that was okay, so I was talking earlier about schools, or working at a school, and you have like administration. And they're kind of the people who keep the school running. So the office I worked in very specifically was the development office, and that's like their fancy name that they use for asking alumni for money. That's what they were doing. And it was, I mean, it was fine. Like, there was no issue. Like, it wasn't, we weren't horrible people or anything. So, you know, most of our alumni were pretty chill with us asking for money. But, um, gosh, that rug should be so much bigger than it actually is. Oh, can we go up to 2.5 without it looking janky? That doesn't look too bad, right? So when you think about chairs and where they go, like if you're thinking about your living room, right? And rugs rugs either need to go under the furniture and fill the space, or there needs to actually be a buffer, right, on either side of the rug. Um, so on this, you would want the front lip of the rug to either be beneath all of it or not under the desk, right? So if we put it here, it's actually a really good spot for it because it creates that line between the desk and the seating area. And then you have, you know, plenty of space for the two chairs. If we look at this, right, the whole desk is on the rug. If we go in here, you'll notice, actually, we need to scooch this rug. It is in the wrong spot. So this one, like you could, if you were an interior decorator, you could make the argument that this rug is too big or it's too small, right? It should either go all the way to the back of the couches or it should not go under the couches. So let's see. Nope. 0.5. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So see, you don't want it under the couches, and you want that little bit of a lip between it and the couch. I have definitely spent more time thinking about rugs in my life than a lot of people. You also usually don't want rugs touching each other's edges, unless you're going for that like boho rugs and tapestries and everything look. Drink Goblin. We have one for health, one for hydration, and one for fun. Just Drink Goblin. Okay, so alright, so we got a rug. That's neat. I really, really, really want to put the typewriter in here. So let's go typewriter. Actually, you know what? Let me take the static mesh off. Alright. Cool. Punk. Okay. Yeah, and I only want to do that because this guy, the guy that worked in here was just real chill. He was really nice. And he was very. He was. I want to say he was really old school, right? Like, but that's not. It kind of. Oh my gosh, what is that horrible noise? Is it because it's like trying to like charge and recharge? Okay. He was like old school, right? Like he was very calm, very chill, very serious. You know, we do serious business here. But he's nice. He's a very nice person. So that's all I really need. That's all I really ask for of other people. Is just be nice. All right, and then I do want to put beep little plant. He was definitely that person. He had little plants. Whoop. There we go. Alright. Okay, but I don't see the right plant that I need. We are going to have to scale one of these up. That's okay. Oh, I think that's that guy. All right, here. Let's small house plant 2. Your small plant E. Your small plant E. Oh, see, look, I liked that one. I pulled it out twice. All right, so your small house plant 2. We already pulled you out. Plant 1. That's slightly different from plant 2, which is you. Plant A. Alright, you don't look terrible. There's another plant A. Ah, same as that one. You're actually kind of chunky. Okay. Ooh, spiky. I like spiky plants. Fancy plant. Big pot. Yeah, there's a bunch of big pot plants. Those big, like, raw. Not like big pot. Yeah. Put that guy over there. We got some different planters, and like I have planters that are empty, and then I also have plants that can just go in the planters. So if we ever get to a spot where we're like, wow, we really need a different look, we can find that. And that's a really cool one that I will use somewhere else. Probably not in this level. I think we also have some more small ones that are like more, like daisies, that kind of thing. Okay, but all right. So I really want this one, this monstera that's back here, but I want it to be like way bigger. Let's go 2, 2, 2. Yep, yeah, tree sized. This guy had this monstera that was in here, and it was just huge. And it was so funny because like everybody else was like, "You gonna trim that thing back?" And he was just like, "No." Okay, that's floating. Can I? Oh no. Can I hit end and get him to go where I need him to go? Oh no, because the spot is in the box a little, or in the pot a little bit. Okay. And then I think I'm gonna use these guys. Will be his corner plants he had. Alright, now let's go 2, 2, 2. Make that guy just a big, huge, chunky boy. We do not want you clipping through the wall. Boom. And then let's make you 1.7, 1.7, and then 1.7. Because really, you don't want them all to be exactly the same size. You want them to all kind of have slight variations to them. Okay. Yeah. See, then they don't quite look like the same plant. Players can choose to believe that maybe they aren't. So one way you add variation, just like placing assets like this, is literally just, changing the scale a little bit. 1.8. Yeah, so you make them a little shifty on the size, and then kind of twist them around as you're placing them, and then that way, like, no two of them are quite in the same spot. Let's go ahead and make this 2.2, 2.2, and 2.2. You usually want to keep it within 0.2 of each other, because see, like you can see, like, that's actually a pretty big difference between those 4 plants now, for size, right? And So it doesn't actually need to be that big. It doesn't need to be that big of a difference. It will kind of just work out. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna take all these other plants to other places. Just dump you guys in there. There were, I don't remember what the exact number was anymore, but when I was there were something like 30 or 40 plants in the entire building. Because the lady, Aurelia, is a really nice lady that I think she was technically a janitor, but she did way more than that. Um, she'd water every plant, whole building. She'd water them. If she knew teachers were going to be out of the office for like 2 weeks and they had plants in there, she'd go in there and water their plants. Just the nicest lady. I really liked her. She was she's one of those like truly sweet people when you meet her. And then let's give you slight rotation. I say slight as if I didn't just turn it literally 180 degrees. Okay. This. Can I? Oh, that actually does work pretty well. Does that look? So when you're fudging with scale on stuff, right? Like you're making stuff look weird with scale. You got to be careful sometimes because if you don't scale it on all three axes, it can look a little, and you kind of want to make sure it's pretty close. So your artists don't get really angry at you. Um, I think I'm gonna take this down to 2.5. 2.5. It's kind of taking up a little bit too much space right now, and I want it more. Yeah, like that. And then I think I'm actually going to slide it like that. Cool. Alright, and this can come up against the wall a little bit. There. Okay. Alright, so we got some plants. There was a big plant over there. Here, let's put Spiky Boy over there. And ooh. Wow, that's weird. It looks more wrong being at the same scale going up like that than it did when it was. Yeah, like that looks more correct. Yeah, plants are weird. Okay, cool. So we got a couple around here now. I think I'm gonna just move all of these out into the hallway. Get out of here. Okay. Alright, so now I need art. And I need computers. Not there, but here. Okay, so we've got 2 monitors and a laptop. That checks out. Over here was 1 monitor. So actually, let me go see if I've got any better monitors. Because I know now we have some of the super chunky ones. We've got widescreen. Let's see. What is this one? ArchViz. I think that's literally this. Oh no, that's the ultra wide one. which I'm not going to put one of those in here. Alright, so that is the same monitor. Cool. Alright, sweet. They do have the super cool. Actually, let me go. In my head, I call this the friendly librarian's office, which is funny because the other librarians were not unfriendly. It's just this lady was so much friendlier than like everyone else. Go. Okay. Oh, wait. I was grabbing the... Oh, I just moved off of it. Whoops. Nope. Maybe? I guess if we could put the lid down. Alright, well, I don't like any of these trash bins, so I think we may just not have trash bins yet. Okay, let's go back to monitor. Because this is that Apple look, right? Like that Apple monitor, which is what she had. There we go. Okay, back this way. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see. What kind of file cabinets do we have? We have those tall ones. Do a desk cabinet? Desk file cabinet. I'm waiting on all of it to load. There it is. Desk drawer is what it was called. Okay. With its terrible, terrible rotation point. Okay. There's that. And then I want to go ahead and add that one to Kim's things because it looks a lot like the thing I'm going to need later in a different room. Not this room. Okay, so then I need a tower. Let's just look up computer and see what it gives me. Oh my god, look at all of these old. That's like an Apple IIe. The old floppies. Oh, the weird mice. I love it. Or the weird split keyboard. Okay. I think it's either going to be this one. Ooh, man. Boy, both of those are real muddy, huh? Okay, let's see what tower gets us. I do want to. Let's go ahead and do. Here's the not terrible looking one. I say terrible. They look great. They're the old ones. They're like square and stuff. Okay. Alright. Sweet. Let me just grab... Oh, let's use this one. I like it a little better. It's not quite perfect, but it'll do what I need it to do, which is look like a computer under the desk. Whoop. Okay. There are people who are much smarter than me that would probably say you don't need to have it be that precise when you're just doing the propping, blah blah blah. And they might be right, but that's not how I'm gonna do it. So. Alright, and then slide it back. And then we're gonna grab you, slide you all the way over here. Sweet. Actually, you can go right there. Okay, cool. Alright, and then slide the chair over in and twist. Cool. Alright. Do we have any paintings? I think we do. Okay. We have a couple. You know what? I think we'll just skip that for now. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to delete that table. That's a tea light candle. Cool. I want to go table. Static mesh. This is that round table that was covered in the tablecloth that I don't really like. It is funny though, because that table was usually covered in tablecloth. But I don't like the way that makes it look. The reason I don't like it, it makes it look like it should animate, right? With cloth over the table. It looks like it should animate. It looks like it should, there should be a point where the player can lift up and look under the table or something like that. And none of those are things I actually want to happen in this space. And so, we talk a lot, I say we, game developers, a really common thing that we say a lot is part of the difficulty of, oh, that one's fantastic. Part of the difficulty of game development is that you have to set the player expectation and then you have to meet the player's expectation, right? So you have to kind of set that, what they think is going to happen or what they think an interaction should be. And then once you set that expectation, you meet the expectation, and then you're building that circle of trust, right? We talk, there's a lot of times about game developers making sure they're doing things that then the players can trust them, right? The players know, like, they're not gonna leave me hanging, right? They're gonna have done something cool about this or whatever. I think I want to see how fat I can make this table before it starts to look weird. It's kind of hitting it, huh? Yeah. Okay, let's go 2.5. 2.5. That's still kind of weird. Can't make it too much taller though, because that is the right size for a table. So building that trust with your players though is really important, because if you build the trust with your players, then they are more likely to assume things. I'm trying to think of the kind of the polite way to say it. They tend to assume things are more correct, right? They won't assume something is broken because it's not doing exactly what they expect it to, right? Um, they will instead assume they're doing something wrong because they trust you, the game developer. And that's kind of a really cool place to be. Um, I have the experience quite often with Genshin, um, other Hoyoverse games too, but specifically with Genshin, and having that moment of like, I feel like there's something I'm missing, right? Like there's definitely something that should be here, and invariably there is. Flower. What about a vase? Do we have a vase? We almost certainly have vases, right? Yeah, there's some. What a silly vase. Hmm. Well, not that one. Most of these are too small from what I'm thinking of. Oh my gosh, that one's definitely too small. Okay, let's grab you and make you huge. There we go. Alright. Okay. I think I'm just gonna move all of these guys over here until I need them. What are you? Oh, okay. That's something someone else is doing. I kind of like this one for the Great Hall. It had a lot of really chill lights in it, which is funny because it probably needed more robust lighting most of the time we were using it. Okay, alright, and then let's see. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good spot. It's like 2 away from the wall. Is it 2.5 away from the wall? Yeah. More here, right? And then here ish. Alright, I'm going to replace these chairs. No offense to them. Okay. Alright. I want to select... God, I did it over here too, huh? Now, pretty soon here, I'm going to have to create a double wall. So, like, I'm gonna take one of these walls and duplicate it in space, but then also so I can have it be different textures on different sides. Because right now it's going to be the same texture on all four sides, and that's not really what we want. Okay, so let me grab you first off. Let's just start fixing these. Haha. Okay. Alright. Did you get fixed? Yes, you got fixed. Okay, but you are not. Yeah. Okay, so you two both need to go. Boop. And now we're all good. Right? Sweet. Okay. Except. Alright, let's grab you. Nope. 3 is gonna be too short though, right? Oh, that was the wrong button. Oh, why am I... Oh, what was that? 1.45? Okay. Might help if I change the right thing, huh? Okay. Let's do that. Control. Aha! There it is. Alright, and then this one. We want to go out a little bit. Probably 1.7. And then we just want to scoot them down. Super. Okay, what are we doing here, guys? Let's go here, because it is still overlapping ever so slightly. So let's bring it down to 6. Is that no longer overlapping? Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Boop. I'm still not used to the new mouse. Ooh. one is overlapping. Weird. Okay. Alright. And then this side, let's just go ahead and line it up with the window, because that's the part that matters for this piece. And then scale it over. Nice. Alright, and then this piece we're just going to... It's probably 0.8. Boom! Alright. Cool. Okay, so then... this, 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 and this. Oh wait, all of these are already fixed. Oh, so is it just U3? Whenever there's trouble, why is it always U3? Okay, cool. Sweet. Alright, oh, where's that new chair that I found? I need that chair. This one. Alright, and then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Maybe it is 3. Let's do 3. Pop down. Okay, now they look right to me. How is this table like different lengths? Oh, okay. You know, maybe I should just see if I've got a better table. Too, because I do have a bunch of new tables now. And I do have some Victorian stuff. Oh my gosh, I have a pool table. I'm so excited to build a bar. Oh. Yeah, I got all the mid-century modern stuff too. There's no way this is gonna work, is that? It would be really cool if it did. Gosh. It does look a little jank. I may leave it though. I may leave it. Let's see if I can get... Alright, so let's just go... And then 2.75. That does make it quite fat, quite a bit fatter. I don't mind that per se. Where's my doorway? There's my doorway. Line it up in the center. Cool. Alright. Okay, so then our chairs. You want to scoot him because nobody likes to sit on the leg of the chair, right? Like that's or the leg of the table. So what we do is we do this the nice way. Make sure nobody's sitting on the leg. There we go. And then we'll whip this one around. And boop. Okay, and then put you there. Okay, do we have curtains? Let's look. I did get a window dressing. Haha! Did I finish my thought earlier when I was talking about not having the table with tablecloth because I don't want to have to make the tablecloth move? So that's kind of a a thought. You know, it's a thing that comes up in game development, right? Is people um, expecting things to work certain ways because that's their perception, right? Like that's how they experience that item. So if they see the table with tablecloth, they think, oh, that tablecloth should move, right? Now, the problem is if you can't meet that expectation, right? So we know we're not going to have tablecloths that can move, right? Like that's just not a thing that is going to occur in our game. Um, so we can't meet that expectation. Well, okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we remove it so that we're never setting the expectation that we can't meet. I've been in a couple of at a couple of companies, you know, had that time where you know somebody says, "Oh, we should have a car here," and it's like, "Nope, can't put a car there because players will want to get in it, and if players want to get in the car and they can't, they will be grumpy." And so it is better to simply not have the car instead of making players sad they can't drive around in the car. Um, Alright, we're gonna have you all the way to there, but then, boy, what is this? Like 8? Whoops, nope. This is like 8. Nope. Is it you? It is you. But 8 is too long. 6? Alright, let me see if some of these are longer than the others. You'll see how like it's like extended, like boop, out that end, and I don't want that. But I do want a curtain rod. So I gotta find the one that is least offensive when stretched to the length that I need it. Okay. So it's probably going to be this guy, which is 5i. Is there a different? No. Okay. Let's see what a 2 looks like on him. Oh, you know, see, this looks pretty nice. So let's go ahead and just delete these boils. Not the wall, please. Cool. Alright, so we're going to do this and bring it down. Alright, so it needs about 20%, or about 50% more. It's about 2/3 the way, so let's see how 3 looks. Okay, we're still getting some of that flex at the end, but it looks pretty good, right, y'all? I think so. I think I'm going to go 3.2 and see if I can get, yeah, the ends out of the metal rings. Sweet. Okay. So, let's check that it's the right angle this way. Sweet. Alright. So then we can go like this. Oh, no, not that one. What about this one? Nope, not that one either. Oh, that's neat. Okay. And we're going to... Alright, let's bring you down. And then 1.25. Sweet. And then a curtain. So curtains will probably be one of those things that eventually we will pay an artist to give us the slightly animated version, right? The idea that it will ever so slightly move as if there were a breeze or something in the house, and this is 1.26. That kind of thing. Like we'll actually have someone come in and make that for us, or pay someone to do that. The idea being there is that we can meet those expectations, right? We can. It's not a really hard ask to have a curtain animate as opposed to a tablecloth. Can we just... Why are you... Oh, because you're... I see. I see. I see what's going on there. Alright. Boom. Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually going to delete a bunch of these. Then table. That actually probably works a lot better. That's going in a different place. Oh, it was these though. Oh my gosh. We actually have some. I think I am actually going to use the plastic folding tables because it's kind of amazing. Oh, I forgot to put it back on 5s, didn't I? I did. Alright. Do we have enough room for a second one? We do. Actually, though, I think I'm going to turn it. Yeah, because there are plants coming in here. wasn't much else in this room. Okay. Oh my gosh, right. I was working on that. Oh, and those awful things. I bet you this pack has the thing I need in it. It's like cubbies or something. There it is. Oh, it's got all the numbers and hooks on it. Oh. Mail box. So we're looking for something that would work as a bunch of little grid mailboxes. Oh man, that's so funny. Those are House Flipper items. House Flipper use those in their game. House Flipper's such a cool game. Okay, let's just look at Cubby. Alright, construction. Nope. Oh yeah, these were all the like blinds. I got a bunch of blinds and curtains, doors. Alright, let's go attic. What's in the attic? Set. Oh, look at that old TV. It's so good. I'm definitely going to build a level just for that old TV. Okay, what do we think? Is it better to stick to the Oh, looks like Ancient Treasures has not been added to source control. Interesting. I know there's just a bunch of treasure and treasure chests. Doubt a dive bar would have it. Oh, it's got money in it. Oh, if it didn't have money in it, I was about to be like, alright, this is what kit bashing is. I guess I could talk about it anyway. So, kit bashing is this concept that you sometimes you won't have art support, right? Like, or sometimes art's already overloaded with all this other stuff they've got to do or whatever. Um, and so one of the things you will do is what's called kit bashing, which is where you take two meshes and you just kind of like smash them together, or take a couple of meshes and use them to build the thing you need, right? That you don't have art for, and that you're not going to get art for, right? Like that's the very specific, like, you know, necessity being the mother of invention here, right? Is you're not going to get art, you're not going to get it, and so you've got to just kind of build it on your own and make it work as best you can. Um, and some people are okay at it. Most people can at least learn to be all right. But then there's some people who are just truly inspired when it comes to kit bashing. I've worked with a couple of people. There was this one lady, ironically, her name being Kim, uh, and I can't even think of, like, she was a Rembrandt when it came to kit bashing. Just absolutely astonishingly good. Um, so, we were building this big old place, and it was really funny because, much like the seminary, the place we were building had those things on the ceiling, right? Like, molding and decoration on the ceiling. And I came to work one day, and she had done the entire ceiling. Like, it was amazing. It was beautiful. Like, wood paneling and just gorgeous, exactly like it was on the thing we were copying, like the stuff we were looking at, the reference. And I was just in awe, like, how good it was. And so then I started clicking on the pieces. She had built the entire thing from, um, the asset pack had a grandfather clock, but then it also had all of the pieces, so you could put it together and have it where it would open, right, and move. She just took the pieces and built the ceiling with pieces of grandfather clock, and it was amazing. Hmm. Some of my stuff has lost their textures. It's okay. Alright, let's see. Fan, doormat, file cabinet, grill, propane tanks, tchotchkes. I love tchotchkes. We will not use it here, but I love that we have a deer head. Oh my gosh, there's some really good ones. I want to put right here this fucking phone. Look at that old piece of jank. I love it. Okay, where were we? We were back here. We're trying to find cubbies, and I'm not finding cubbies. We may have to make them. That would be okay. I'm, like, mentally debating with myself. Are the bookshelves good enough? Are they close enough? I think they might be. Those actually look pretty good. Those don't look too bad. What does this one look like? How does this one look compared to that one? Oh, this is the nanite one. I don't want to use the nanite one. I'm only saying that I don't want to use the nanite ones because I think they are more resource intensive, and I would like to mitigate our resource intensity as much as possible. Okay, that guy is going to be too tall. He also looks a little weird. There's some weird stuff going on with him. I'm looking at other cubbies. We got trophies. Got a whole bunch of plaques to hang on walls. Those are going to be fun. Clocks. I'm trying to think of where all the big clocks were. I know there was one in here. There was like a... that's the non-nanite version of this. There it is. Okay, good. Alright. 90. I think I want it to be much bigger. There we go. Chonky clock. Okay. Where was that thing I saved in my... Ha ha. You are not even remotely as big as I need you to be. What are you doing? Okay, let's do this. Ooh. Okay. Content desk. I guess I could also look at counter. Because it was more of a counter. Like, that was solidly how it felt. Look at counter. Okay. Oh, these are the ones I had in there that don't have an actual mesh on them. Let's go bar. Bar chair, bar cooler, barrel. Yep, yep. Let me go counter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. You know, we just may have to deal with that not being. I like this one a lot, but it's a lot more architectural than I'm really looking for. This one is a lot more correct. Let's see, let's move you over here, and then Alt. Okay. And then actually, what if we delete that last one? Scorch. I saw that move. Alright, sweet. And then let's see the turn. I don't think that's actually the one I want to do. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, is that the top? Or is that just a... I think that may just be a side. Nice and block it in. Okay, cool. But I think I'm actually just gonna do this one. And like so. Like so. Okay, I know there's like nobody in chat and I am just talking to myself, but okay, so here's the question. Do we just kind of continue on as we have been and find, little spots that need work and just doing the work? Or Should I do the horrifying thing that will potentially make the whole level run like ass? But just go ahead and do it now so we can find out how bad it is. Maybe? I mean, I think this isn't high enough up. Yeah, I think that's where it goes. And that's why it's not there. Okay, alright. Let me just scooch it back down to 71 then for a second, and we'll fix it later. Okay, so there's a chair for our librarian who will be up there. So I was thinking though, I could build the library. I could build a shelf. So we go down here. Are we gonna use these shelves? Do we want to use these shelves? How bad are these shelves? Can I? Let me browse the asset. Shelf long. What are your? Oh yeah, you're real good. You're nice, nice. All right, let's see if there's any other shelves that are better than this one. Alright, actually, let me just go ahead and delete these. Okay, so we've got that one. Then we've got this guy, which we could make taller. We can make him a lot taller. And he would be fine. Although, if we're sticking to the accuracy of this location, they, oh, that's the low poly stuff, isn't it? Yeah. If we're sticking to that, these shelves were actually see-through shelves. They did not have backs because they actually had books coming in from both sides. Which I feel like these garage shelves would be more accurate, but those are really clearly garage shelves, right? Like they're not library shelves. Oh wow. I have greenhouse lights. Neat. Neat. Okay, this is an actual, it's called a library shelf, but it's got the closet on it. I don't want that. We have a bunch of liquor cabinets. That's hilarious. Okay, let's see. How's that shelf look? No, that looks like a produce shelf, right? Yeah. If I ever want to build a grow house, I have the stuff for it. Okay, so that is a very nice metal shelf. Oh, that's our grow shelf. What do you look like? Oh, you also look like a grow shelf. Oh, you're a little too janky. A little too... Oh, man. Oh my gosh, I slapped a different texture on it because I didn't like it. I love it. So these are called warehouse shelves. I see it. I see it. Alright, I think those are my options. I don't really want to do the metal shelves. I don't want to do these metal shelves. I think I'm just gonna go with the hacky one I put together. I think that's the right call. It looks the closest to what we would like. Okay, so now I'm gonna go with books. Let's just go ahead and pop the static mesh on there. Okay. Yep. Oh. Alright, let me actually go top. Yeah, because we want to make sure the books are fully on the shelf. I would ideally like them to be in the center and look pretty decent. Okay. Alright, so that's one set. There's a second set that I think may actually be too fat. It is too fat. Oh, 0.8. Yeah. Okay. Then we're gonna bring these down. See, they don't all have to be perfectly different. They just have to be a little different. Just enough where people don't recognize the books. Okay. Alright, I think that's what we're gonna have. And then let's go ahead and roll these down. And then we're just gonna alternate them. Alright. Now, sweet. Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to take and I'm going to select all of these together. And the shelf. And I am going to create a group. Group. Okay. I do want to slide him ever so slightly. Let's make sure we're not clipping into the wall either direction. Okay. Alright. So now we're going to see how many of these specifically it takes to make the game scream. I think I scaled those slightly, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Well. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I want like a square between each one. Yeah. Whoops. There we go. Alright. So we need, what, like 3 more? It's like 3 more. You know what? Let's just not the wall. Okay, let's go. See, that's why I was worried about doing it this way. Because that one is somewhere else. So one way you can be sure when you're doing stuff like this, where you're just like selecting a bunch of things in the list there to like in the outliner to delete it, you can tell if you've selected something outside the room based on where the gizmo is. So like right now, the widget is in the middle, like the little blurp is in the middle of the grouping of items, and it usually will be. So like if I select the 123 one and then I do this, you'll notice the widget's like way the heck over here, and it's probably because the other shelf I selected. It's back there. So that's why the gizmo ends up in a weird spot if you're doing it that way. Let's do all those and then delete. I think that's all of them. And then you. Okay. Now I do want to go ahead and fix. I think I'm gonna move all of this wall. So we start here. Door frame. Boop, boop, boop. Can you see it? Like sometimes whenever I click, it accidentally like slides. It moves everything. It's so annoying. Alright, so I need to scooch you. Superb. Okay. This is all fine. Alright. Grab you and you. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Oh, you were just already there. And doing the thing. Okay. And then you. And you. Let's go top. Alright. And we want to move you here. And then scale you to there. Right? Oh, a little bit further. Just a smidgy bit further. Oh, maybe not that far. About, oh gosh. The irony of a wall in a church being 6'6" size. It's very good. Very good. Okay. And then 0.8. Nope. 1.78. Actually, let me go to the top and look at this. Yep, look at that. Sounds up. Cool. Alright, now. Alright, so we fix the wall. Whoa. Okay, we fix the wall. So the window is correct now. Jane's office is fixed. Jane, that was her name, the kind librarian. Her name is Jane. Alright, now. Actually, you know what I need? I need a chair. Let's see, what about this guy? That guy. Yeah, let's do that guy. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm using another piece of mesh, an item that is in the world. Because, bookshelves are a certain distance apart, right? Like, you kind of, you know these things. Um, if you were to enter into a space where someone had not, like, properly kind of measured or like calculated something, like you can tell, like your lizard brain is capable of saying, hey, something's off here. And you definitely want to avoid that as a level designer. And so part of the way you can do that is by using the other items that you use in the scene. It helps you make sure that your scale is correct, your sizing is correct. So, like, I mean, if you look at that on paper, like, if you look at that from the top, and it's like, oh, this is the chair, and you wouldn't need that much room around it. But then if you actually go in and, like, start walking through, you're like, this feels really claustrophobic, right? Really claustrophobic. And so, like, but we want that feel. We want it, right? So we're okay with that. But yeah, we wanna make sure though it isn't too claustrophobic. I am actually also though going to. Yes. If I want to delete the whole group, I do want to delete the whole group. Yeah, so like I wanted to have that feeling of like there's space. So another thing we can do as we progress, because this is going to start making the level scream a lot. um, but what we can also do, a quick tip there, um, is putting it at the way that it would be correct and feels nice and everything, is not doable, right? Like we can't have this many meshes hitting performance in this location, blah blah blah, right? So if we can't do that, what we can then do is we go through and we delete every other row and widen it out and just make the rows comically wide, right? And that's a way to do it. It there's some reasons why it's a little frustrating if you have to do that, but it usually works pretty well. Let me see if this will let me play from here. Probably not. Z key, because I do want to feel how that chuggy that is. I want to feel the distance. Yeah, this is the right amount. This is the right. Okay. Fine. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to select this sucker. And so then literally what we're going to do is we're just going to eyeball it using the chair. So you get it, it's about half a square, and then you've got it, because it's about half a square on this side too, so you want to make sure it's about half a square between it and the other bookshelves. Half a square. Almost under the lights. Just around the lights. Okay, two more, right? Two more. That one, and then this last one. Oh, nope. We were way off. We've got a lot more room to go. Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and scooch this out a little bit more then. So it was already feeling a little claustrophobic. We don't mind a little claustrophobic. We mind a lot claustrophobic. Okay, now it's one more. One more. Okay. God, that's a lot of books. Okay, so this last one I actually do want to hey, it worked. Sweet. I want to run that back up against this wall. Delete this chair. I'm gonna grab this whole row. And I'm gonna slide it to there. Delete you. And then delete you, and delete you. Boy, that's going to chug. Let me see how many lights I have in here. I wonder if I can cut down on the number of lights. Let me just delete. Yeah, 4 sets of lights should be enough. And if it's not, we can adjust the strength of the lights. Okay, alright. So that's a lot of books in the library. Okay, what time is it? How are we doing? Is anybody talking? No, nobody's talking. Alright, we're right at 2 hours. So yeah, I think I may actually... okay, so... boy, I really don't want to have to rebuild all those floors, but I might have to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use this thing, for this. So those books in the library, that will be the most, the worst performance area in the level, and it's just because, that the shelf itself is like 1,000 vertices, and then each of the book sets is probably a couple of thousand, and so you're looking at like each of these is effectively an NPC, right? As far as weight, and so like you're talking about like a crowded room here that we're actually looking at. I just realized. Let me file save all. debug. Nope, that's that thing over there. Because I know that there is a way in the viewport here. Oh, there it is. To show FPS. Look at that. Super. Stats. FPS. Boy, I don't know which of these things might be useful and which wouldn't necessarily. I really would like what do they call them? Triangles. Triangles. Nope. Okay, so that's not where that's going to be. Ooh. Let me see. Try. Curses. Yeah, I'm one of the people I work with apparently. Underneath this little selected actors thing down here, in the at work, it'll actually say like, "Yep, this is how many triangles that's using." Blah blah blah. It's great. Let's see. No. Developer. What's in here? No. Bounds. Yeah, it's actually really funny because there's a lot of this that I think it's really useful later. So like if you hit that collision button, see how everything kind of goes like janky. So it's actually really funny. We could probably save some performance if we went in and turned off the collision on all of these books. Because we know the player's never going to walk into them, right? Like, we just know that's not going to happen. So let's actually go like this. Actually, the way I should do it is I should go in here. So what I want to do is I want to figure out how to turn off the actually, you know what, maybe. Let me just, there should be a way to turn it off here, but I just don't see it. So what I think I'm going to do instead, wait, section collision, yeah, it's got collision. Okay, let's just do it this way. This is the way I usually do it. Because I'm, like, at work, I don't want to mess up other people's stuff, right? So I won't go and mess with their things. Oh, but I don't want the shelves, I just want the... Alright, let me groups. One group. Alright, now let's go back to the book set A that we now have a million of. Ooh, why didn't you? There we go. Alright, so all these books. We're going to go down here. We're going to turn off gravity. We're going to turn off that. We're going to turn off that. Because it is not going to do any collision. No collision. And by doing that, we are significantly cutting down the amount of performance, like the amount of checks it has to do, and so it's making it so much cheaper to do. Okay, all right, and then yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to turn the collision back off. Let me double check this to see if there was anything else in here that really jumped out as, hey, this should be on. I definitely feel like there's something in that developer thing that should be on. Oh, goodness. Okay. There was one up here that was... Oops. Tools, debug. Blueprint debugger, profile. Oh. Nope. Okay. Audit. Audit. That was... Okay. Let's see. I opened this earlier. It's so ridiculous that I can't find it now. Ah, there it is. It's statistics. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so what this is... Jeez. This is... It's looking at primitives, so it's just looking at all of our static meshes that we have. Um, current level. Let's just go current level. Oh, yeah, sweet. Okay, and then what we're looking for here is this, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got 4 actors who are running. Uh, yeah, that is entirely too large. So let's go find the SM underscore plant 2. Look at these guys. Wow, these guys are super beefy. I mean, that's like 6 characters for 4 plants. I think we're gonna have to find a cheaper plant. Sorry, plant 2. Okay, so we're gonna refresh. Alright, Sim Trail. Actually, can we do this? Okay. Oh my gosh, look. So our books are approximately. So characters are usually about 6,000. So if we have 600,000, that is equivalent of having 100 NPCs in there. That is a lot of NPCs. Okay, let's just burp. All right, so it's books. What is SM Trail? Let's find that. SM Trail. Oh. Yeah, those things are real fancy. I think I'm gonna leave those alone. Alright, yeah, we're looking for things that are just like really out of place. Although, I mean, it's the books, right? Like that's the books. That's what we should be fixing. And we just want to make sure there isn't anything that's like running like huge amounts of tries if there's not a bunch of them. So like the clock grandfather, okay, I'll allow that one. Boy, that light set in that bathroom though is probably going to not stay. Plant C, you sir, are not going to get to stick around. Plant C. Ah, goodbye. I bet you every one of those leaves is like crazy. Let's look at it. Oh, okay. Do I have a way? Yeah. There's probably a way to be able to see all the different tries on it and everything, but that's a very expensive plant, so I'm deleting it. 13,000 for a plant. It must be crazy. Classic chair. At least we have 12 of them. Chandelier, we're probably going to deal with anyway. File cabinet is good. Control rig box. Oh. Okay. Have I shown you guys the reference viewer? Okay, so reference viewer is a super cool thing. You can right click on an item and you say reference viewer, and it will bring up this little thingy over here. Um, which shows you, oof, all of the references of what is doing that. So it's being used in the blueprint. We should probably make sure its collision is turned off in the blueprints, because that'll get us back that wherever that was, control rig. Yeah, I mean that'll get us back 32,000. Curtains are always really expensive. Boy, that plant is really expensive too. Those plants are really expensive too. Alright, well, let me find that plant 1. Are you plant 1? You're plant 4. What about you? You're plant 1. This plant has 40,000 tries. Absurd. Absurd. Plant E was the one we just deleted that was sitting out there. What are you? You're plant A3. You're not on my list. I will say, plants are almost always the problem too. They get real expensive. The more leaves you have on them. That's plant I. Okay. All right. Let's refresh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's not. I mean, we've got some like the railings. Those are really expensive. But we have to have the collision on those. We can't not do that. Um, it's okay. All right. This is not terrible. We're still mostly at 60. It's bloop 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 bloop. My computer is really beefy though. That might not be a good. See how you got some moments where it boops down into 50 in here. Okay. All right. I want to save all. I want to build. I think I'm gonna build, and then that's gonna be kind of it for the day. Nobody's here. Nobody cares. I don't know if anybody's here. Yeah, I think that's gonna kind of be it for the day, and then uh, I may be back tomorrow. We're trying to get this wrapped up and completed, and some of it is it's pretty much my fault. We're kind of behind. And then so I got to do all these offices up here, get all these done, and then a couple more things. Like I really want to get this chapel a little more creepy and everything. And then we got to do the attic. The attic is crazy. Um, it's all up here, and there's a whole bunch of cool stuff I want to do up there. So yeah, so I've still got quite a bit of work, and I really want to be done with this already. So we are probably going to have a couple extra streams over the next couple of days. Just trying to get all of this wrapped up. But yeah, I'm going to rebuild everything. Let's build all levels. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you ever have questions, feel free to ask. I'm on Blue Sky more than I should be. Yeah, I try to do these streams every Saturday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.